Hello, Burton Klein here on the Emmy Award-winning channel of the great Community College of Philadelphia. And today's subject, folks, will be countries' influence on the world. Various countries, what they're known for, so to speak. And of course, countries will be known for many more things than I might mention today, but ballpark, when I mention that type of thing that you're going to hear, you'll say, oh yes, I knew that about that country. Shall I start? It's about time, isn't it? Here we go. Ireland. Friendliness. Now, is Burton Klein saying that other countries are not friendly? Of course I'm not saying that. But Ireland, known for their friendliness, and also there's something called the doors of Ireland. When you are in Dublin, or wherever you might be in Ireland, well, the top of the morning to you, lad. Do you hear my accent, do you? When you're in Dublin, Ireland, go up to some of the houses and look at their doors. And the doors of Ireland have inscriptions. They might be famous sayings. They might be something dealing with the family that sits behind that door. But the doors of Ireland. In France, of course, the Tour de France, wine, the Eiffel Tower, and yes, indeed, you can tell by looking at me, the food for sure. Greece. What comes to mind? The Olympics, philosophers. Russia, the space race, also Olympics. Japan, technology. Costa Rica, coffee, bananas, sugar, and rainforests. That doesn't go with coffee, bananas, and sugar, but nonetheless, they're rainforests. In Belgium, waffles. And they are also the highest exporter in the world of diamonds, carpets, and chocolates. That seems incongruous. Diamonds, carpets, chocolates, but nonetheless, it's so. And if I may mention to you, and I mentioned in an earlier broadcast, I'm not boasting to you, but my darling bride and I have been to all of the places mentioned on this telecast, and then some. Egypt, the pyramids, and their museums. The Czech Republic, listen to this, plastic contact lenses. The composers Dvorak and Antonin, the literary stylist Franz Kafka, Austria, Beethoven, Mozart, Haydn, South Korea, Confucianism, 9 books of Confucius, by the way. Now, China, famous for so many things, but let me mention one word in particular, printing. Now listen to this about the Philippines. Known for their hemp, rope, string, papers, envelopes. Oh my goodness. Sweden, here we go to liquor again, vodka and biochemistry. As you're hearing some of these things, are you saying to yourself, my goodness, that little old man is right. In mentioning the country, I did think of that particular item that has an influence on the world. Australia, kangaroos, and the Great Barrier Reef. If I may, I just want to tell you that Sydney, Australia, is my favorite city of the world. Can I tell you my other favorite city? May I? Oh, thank you for your permission. It's Florence, Italy, Firenze. And at a previous presentation, I told you this story, but I think it bears repeating. The date, July 17th, 1992. Walking in Republic Square, Firenze, Florence, Italy, are the 3 tenors. And Luciano Pavarotti was having some sore throat problems at the time, and the 3 tenors had an 11-night gig coming up at the Florence Opera House. But walking in Republic Square, July 17th, 1992, they heard a melodic male voice. They went in to the place where they heard that voice. It was the voice of Andrea Bocelli. He took the place of Luciano Pavarotti for the 11-night gig at the Florence Opera House. A true story, and you hear it while one is on tour of that country. Australia, kangaroos, and the Great Barrier Reef. Now, Mexico, don't be insulted with what I'm going to say, because it sure does affect me every day as I get older. Siestas. Alaska, the pipeline, and cruises to Alaska. And you know, you can take many cruises to Alaska that leave from Bayonne, New Jersey, or New York City, Bayonne to Bayonne. The port in Bayonne is Port Liberty, and New York. So it's very nice. You don't have to go too far at all. Norway, the fjords, and of course fjords spelled F-J-O-R-D-S, fjords. Scotland, the kilts and bagpipes. You're lucky I'm not wearing a kilt today. You wouldn't want to see such a horrible sight. It's bad enough you have to look at me now on this great Emmy Award-winning channel. In Singapore, their laws and their cleanliness. In Switzerland, their watches. In Canada, hockey and their relationship with our great United States of America. Holland, windmills and wooden shoes. I don't know how comfortable they are, but they're famous for wooden shoes. Malta, tourism is the biggest industry in Malta. Dubrovnik, dances in the streets are famous. And there's a place that is the most beautiful to my wife and me. Now, I mentioned my favorite cities before, Sydney and Florence, but this site in Dubrovnik is magnificent. The center city, instead of having a center city square, it's a huge circle with flowers and walkways. And going up from that huge circle, which might be a half a mile around, one sees streets going up into the sections of Dubrovnik. It's absolutely marvelous. In Newfoundland, not Newfoundland now, Newfoundland, they pride themselves in the colors of their homes. Now, here in America, we see beautiful homes, we see beautiful colors, and here around Community College, my wife and I drove here today, and we saw beautiful colors. But in Newfoundland, the colors of the homes are a thing. And when you go there, you'll watch out for that. In Finland, the midnight sun and the outdoor markets. In Spain, Costa del Sol and the bullfights. Now, by this time, you might be saying to me that what I'm telling you is a lot of bull. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bullfights in Spain. In Granada, there's spices. Yes, indeed. In Cyprus, many of the doilies and laces and belts you get come from the wonderful country of Cyprus. Israel, the Wailing Wall, marvelous. Bermuda, honeymoons, yes, indeed. And many of these honeymoons, you can go from this Port Liberty, which is Bayonne, New Jersey, or New York, and take a cruise, which takes you to St. George, Bermuda, and Hamilton, Bermuda. And by the way, as a preference, if one goes to Hamilton, Bermuda, one thinks that one is in Beverly Hills, downtown. It is absolutely so elegant. Monaco. And two words come to mind when one thinks of Monaco. And the two words are Grace and Kelly. Grace Kelly. Folks, the various influences of places of the world. And Philadelphia, if one were to state Philadelphia, one would say perhaps the city of brotherly love. What one can find at the gracious, magnificent Community College of Philadelphia. Good day.